This is session 4 on expectations, and this session is really about a plan to teach students how to be successful. In an effort to increase student engagement and really integrate the 4 C's of the dynamic learning experience under teaching and learning objective, which would include collaboration, creativity, communication, and critical thinking, into the classroom, it is imperative that students are communicated and taught expectations so that these 4 C's can flourish in your classroom. This allows for students to really thrive and learn the social emotional skills necessary to be successful. The desired outcomes for today are really about several things. The first will be about learning the 3-step process for communicating expectations. Once we've established this, we can define clear and consistent expectations for all students. Once we've defined those for activities, we will then go through and talk about defining them for transitions. The last layer will be to develop a plan and prepare lessons for how to teach those expectations to students. Before we go into the 3-step model for communicating expectations, I want to draw your attention to some research. You can see in the footnote below if you'd like to read more about it. But really, research shows that teachers who are very clear with students about exactly how they expect students to behave see a decrease in the following behaviors listed below. If you don't know your expectations for students, or you don't clearly communicate these behavioral expectations to students, then students have to guess at what constitutes responsible behavior. You can avoid most of these behavior concerns by clearly defining for yourself and then communicating to your students how you expect them to behave. Teachers often skip over teaching expectations because they often assume the following. Why should I teach these? These are obvious. Why should I have to teach them? These students have been in school for many years. They should know how to behave. All of these things could be assumptions about behavior because much like students coming with academic deficits, they often have behavior deficits and need to be taught the expected behavior. Here's a graphic example of the 3-step process for communicating expectations. Specifically, defining your expectations is essential if you hope to have positive and productive classroom. However, defining is not the only step. You must also effectively communicate your expectations. So as you can see here in this step, teaching your expectations before activities or transitions begin. We will get into that content later about that. Once you've observed the student behavior by visually scanning, then you want to provide positive feedback during and immediately after the activity. And then you begin the cycle for the next.